Micromania. My name is Aaliyah Billis and our topic today is the dengue virus. All right, we have our board behind us. This shows what our topics are today for dengue virus. All right, so dengue is a rapidly spreading mosquito-borne virus with 4 distinct serotypes, 1 through 4. This virus may cause conditions ranging from mild dengue fever to severe dengue hemorrhagic fever and to the dengue shock syndrome. The virus has become a public health concern in both tropical and subtropical regions, including Asia, the Americas, Africa, and Eastern Mediterranean regions where 2.5 billion people live in areas of dengue risk and 50 to 100 million infections occur each year. Dengue outbreaks puts a huge burden on populations, straining both health systems and local economies. This makes dengue a global pandemic threat to human health. Currently, a specific antiviral treatment for the dengue virus doesn't exist. The only method of controlling the virus is vector management. This includes minimizing local mosquito populations by eliminating potential areas for mosquitoes to breed. However, monitoring mosquitoes cannot be done successfully on such a large scale, so the implementation of an effective and efficacious dengue vaccine is a high priority for public health. Unfortunately, a dengue vaccine has not been developed, but several are in the process of being made as we speak. We have our 3 contestants today. Our very first on our left is Bailey Ostrom. Our second, Brendan Johnson. And our third is Lexon Walker. All right, you guys, are you ready to compete in Micromania?
Yeah.
All right, let's get started. Lexon, what is the very first category that you choose?
I choose molecular mechanisms for 500.
All right, that leads us to our next question. What is the mechanism that the virus uses to infect the host? Question, anybody else know the answer to that? Okay, Brendan, what is your answer?
The virus affects keratinocytes near the skin surface and from there infects Langerhans cells, which are a type of dendritic cell. These cells execute the adaptive immune response by presenting the antigen particles on the outside and entering the lymphatic system to effectively create antibodies for the virus. There are 4 serotypes for dengue virus, and the body cannot tell the difference between all of them. So if you are infected with another type of serotype the second time, your body will elicit the same response, and your macrophages and monocytes will absorb the viruses thinking that they are neutralized when they are not, and they will multiply within them in the lymphatic system and spread to the blood, causing dengue hemorrhagic fever.
Here is the mechanism for the dengue virus and how it infects the host. You guys, vector question is, through what vector is the virus spread? Whoa, Bailey, go!
Alright, so the mosquitoes of the Aedes aegypti and Aedes albopictus types, and when a mosquito bites a person, it injects the virus into the bloodstream.
That is 100% correct. You can now add 8 million points to Bailey's overall score. 8 million! Jeez, you are definitely in the lead right now. Okay, right, Bailey, what do you choose next for the category of dengue fever?
I'll go with symptoms.
Okay, that leaves us with the question, what are the symptoms of all the 3 serotypes?
Well, general symptoms are flu-like symptoms for 2 to 7 days. If the disease progresses, dengue hemorrhagic fever symptoms can occur, which include restlessness, cold and clammy skin, and bleeding and bruising underneath the skin. And it can result in seizures or brain damage, which could lead to death. As dengue hemorrhagic fever progresses, it can become dengue shock syndrome, which is characterized by shock, collapse, or being extremely weak, cold, and clammy.
Okay, Bailey, since you got that last question right, which category would you like to choose next?
I'll choose backgrounds.
Okay. Background question is, where is dengue found? Brendan got it.
Before 1970, dengue hemorrhagic fever was only found in 9 countries. Now dengue is an endemic, and is found all around the globe in more than 100 countries. The regions that are most affected are Americas, Southeast Asia, and the West Pacific. In 2008, these regions had over 1.2 million cases and over 3 million cases in 2013.
Wow. Did everybody get that? That was a lot of information, folks. Here's the dengue prevalence and presence map of the whole world. You guys have made it to our bonus round. To begin, Lexon, has malnutrition individuals seen to increase or decrease the prevalence of infection in children?
Malnutrition is a protective factor due to the suppressed immune activation in malnourished children, making them a bad host environment. So dengue virus is decreased in malnutritioned individuals.
Correct. Very correct. All right, next question goes to Bailey. How long is the incubation period for dengue?
4 to 10 days after the bite of a mosquito.
All right, correct once again. And last, Brendan, when was dengue hemorrhagic fever first recognized?
It was recognized in the 1950s when there were dengue epidemics in the Philippines and Thailand.
Correct! Jeez! What are the treatments for these 3 serotypes then? Oh, I heard Lexon. Lexon was first. Okay, Lexon.
Currently, there is no specific treatment for the dengue fever, but there are always ways to ease the symptoms, which include hydration, either through IV or orally. For dengue hemorrhagic fever and dengue shock syndrome, medical professionals only have ways to treat the symptoms, which often include a blood transfusion or a transfusion of platelets or fresh frozen plasma. And it is also important to know the blood type as well as the antibodies in the patient's blood to prevent further medical problems. Oxygen and sedatives are also administered to most patients.
All right, that was very in-depth, and that was all correct. Good job, Lexon. Okay, Lexon, what would you like to choose next for the categories?
I choose mortality for 1,000.
Mortality for 1,000. Okay, the question is, what is the mortality rate for all the 3 serotypes? Whoa, tie between Bailey and Brendan, but Brendan, you go.
World Health Organization estimates a 2.5% mortality rate without proper treatment. The mortality rate could rise up to 20%. Infants under 1 year of age are especially at risk of dying from dengue hemorrhagic fever. Those who have previously been exposed to the dengue virus are more susceptible to getting dengue hemorrhagic fever if they contract the virus again.
That is correct, Brendan, and that concludes our Micromania show for the week. Thanks for tuning in.